Hello, I'm Elijah Carver, and this is my final portfolio. So for my homepage, I start out talking about my personal life back home and how that has shaped me as a person. And then I go into my past writing and how I've done writing and what I've learned in this class in writing. So I start out with saying I'm a freshman at Appalachian State because I am a freshman. And then I go on to talk about my future major and what I'm majoring in. So I'm majoring in construction management, and the reason I'm doing this is because it's always been a big part of my life. And every time that I'm back home, me and my brother we both work with my dad. So this is my dad right here. And in the back of this picture, you can actually see a skid steer and an excavator on this side, which we use whenever we're working. So that just shows how I'm always around that. Then I go on in the first section to talk about how I always love being outdoors and how honestly I just don't like being inside. That's the truth. But besides that, onto the writing part. Um, so I started out talking about how writing has always been a struggle with me, and I've just never been that good at it. Or actually, I feel like I've been good at it, but I just haven't had the best luck in the past, which in part is just because of my lack of organization and lack of planning. But in this third section, I talk about how this class has taught me different skills to plan better and to organize better, which has not only made me a better writer in this class, but I believe will make me a better writer in many writing assignments to come and papers that I'll have in the coming years and next semester. And then just back to my personal life. This is my mom. This is me in the marching band, and this is all my friends I go to church with. Which actually, maybe in the band has something to do with not only my academic argument, but my writing beyond RC 1000. So that's just a little snippet. Uh, so on to my academic argument. So my academic argument this semester was focused on the pandemic in the workplace. So to start off with my academic argument, first of all, I needed the idea, which I figured the pandemic in the workplace that is very relevant to what we're dealing with now because it's a very new topic and it's something that there's a lot of different opinions of like what will come, how things will be, if they will stay the same, if they will go back to what they used to be. So it's interesting to see a lot of people's different opinions. So to start out, I researched the library, different scholarly sources and the high up sources. So I'd have knowledgeable, relevant sources to put in my paper. So going back to talking about the strategies that I used, the different strategies such as the synthesis. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. I'm sorry, but the different strategies such as the synthesis matrix and the annotated bibliography, they were definitely huge steps that helped me plan. Which I'll get into talking about the annotated bibliography in the next part. But so basically, in the way I used to write, I honestly used to just go for it, which honestly wasn't the best. But using these different styles, it gave me an outline, and then I like went further into the outline with the synthesis matrix, which was really helpful. But so pandemic in the workplace. Basically, I came to the conclusion that the best way to go back to work after the pandemic is over is to take what we have learned from the pre-pandemic, what worked best then, and what works best now since we're going remote, and then put those two together. And honestly, many of the sources that I found had just about the same idea that they all worded it just a little bit differently, but it was basically just adapt and then just kind of combine the two. Okay, so now on to my annotated bibliography. So this is probably like one of the most helpful parts of my writing process. This is where I really like tuned into the fine details of what I was going to include in my article, because with this topic, since it is very new, a lot of the things that people say about it is very similar, and because of that, it's kind of difficult to find different information, which is why, as in this little summary of my time, why I had to go looking through all different sorts of things. After I went through the different articles and picked out the different things that I needed, then I picked the 5 most, I don't want to say relevant, because they were all relevant to the topic, but just ones that were probably the easiest to write about, and then I wrote annotations about those, and then I could kind of group them together to figure out which ones would go in different paragraphs. Now on to my This I Believe essay. In my This I Believe essay, I talk about how you are who you are around. So in this, I refer to music, how you are what you listen to, and your personality will turn into what you listen to. So if you listen to very angry, heavy music, then you'll become a very angry and mad person. But if you listen to slow and soft music, then you'll become a peaceful person. So in this, I talk about this one guy who went to my church that loved Metallica, and he always listened to it. But he made the conscious decision himself to stop listening to it, because one day he noticed that he was angry, and then actually his kids called him out on it, which is kind of the cool part of the story. But that's just one thing. That's just one like real life example of how music like affects people and has an impact on people. But in this essay, um, a lot of the style that I used was not like what I used in my academic argument. So this was, as I was saying before, I just kind of went for it and just didn't have a plan at all, and it turned. I think it turned out pretty good, but it could definitely be better if it had more organization, which I believe that this class has helped me on. Okay, but now onto my writing beyond RC 1000. In my writing beyond RC 1000, this is actually one of my college applications. I'm pretty sure to Tennessee. So the question was, some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful to them. That is so meaningful, they believe their application would be incomplete without it. This sounds like you. Then please share your story. So in this story, I talk about me and just my career with music, and how music has really helped me in different ways, whether emotionally, with anxiety, and then depending on the music, spiritually, if I'm listening to Christian music. And in this, I talk about how music has just really helped me come out of the box, because I used to be like a really shy person, but music has helped me like connect to other people, which has overall helped me come out of the box. But also with this paper, this is not as well organized as it could have been if I used some of these strategies. Which some of the strategies that we learned is just basic ones, such as organization, which is something that I was very bad at in high school and middle school and just my past education career, which is something that I've been working on in this class, and I plan to work on in the future as writing something that we very importantly need. So overall, I feel like I didn't really talk about how this course has like affected me and impacted me, but basically, I just believe that this course has just gave me like the basic understandings of how to write a paper and how to outline a paper, and how to get a plan set. Where whenever you actually go to execute and write down a paper, then you're not just pulling stuff out of your butt, but you actually know what you're talking about. And in the end, this will help you, or this will help me not only in this class, but I've already said, but I mean, it's true. So, um, yeah, this course is definitely one that was probably one of my harder courses for the semester for Gen Ed wise. But in the end, I feel like I learned the most of it. That will help me in courses after I graduate. But thank you so much and have a good day.